I want to start from the beginning. So what is co-working? In my opinion, a mode in which you supply workspaces to people. We tend to forget that because it has been an innovative mode, almost viral mode, and everybody talks about co-working nowadays. From the 50s, the last centuries, it's been developing lots of modality of this modality. Among those, business incubator, startup studios, hackerspace, shared office or curated offices, flexible offices, co-living, learning spaces, and so on. So the industry, the co-working industry, even here in Italy, but globally I would say, it's overlapping some other industry like hospitality industry, community and care or event industry, real estate industry of course, and among those the tech industry. I'm going to argue that the focus of co-working, which was at the beginning very much the community, is becoming less important in respect with technology. Are the co-working less community-centered, the more tech-centered? My answer is yes, and in order to make it more visible, this shift, I try to construct a taxonomy in which you can, in a way, it could be useful to distinguish different sort of co-working or flexible offices around the world. If you think you have two basic dimensions you can use, the first one is, are we providing a convenient space or a prestigious location for our customers? On the other side, you have another dimension you can use is, does it impact with the way you work or you used to work before coming in my place? So you have a degree. And if you use these two dimensions, you have a quadrant where there has been at the beginning quite empty. So prestigious location, which were essentially curated spaces or what we call in Italy business offices. They were running in a traditional way like any other office. Co-working changed everything, proposing a new identity. Now there is a further step in which technology plays a crucial role in moving all different space offers toward that quadrant, because technology gives the opportunity to hybridate spaces and to accommodate very different needs in a proposal to the market by the co-working owners. Having said that, we will find some trace of this shifting in the data. As Italian Co-working, we run since 2017 an annual survey, and we collect continuously through our website data from co-working spaces or business center or shared office in Italy. Co-working movement has grown very much in the last few years. The first investigation, we found 500 co-working around Italy, and now we count more than 800 co-working spaces. Around 60% are located in the north, and 25% in this region, Lombardy, when this presentation is occurring. The first co-working space was made in 2008, so quite soon as the model was established, and there are quite a few co-working in peripheral areas or in small towns. They account around 25%. We have a big divide in the characteristics of the spaces. There are small spaces which account for 60% of this 800 number I gave before. These are mainly under the 300 square meters large on average, while big spaces were really rare some years ago, but investment are more attractive nowadays, even after the pandemic crisis, and they account now for around 15% of the spaces, of course with a much larger surface. So saying that, few international networks are present in Italy, mainly in Milan area, and two-thirds of the co-working owners run other main business. So that's 1 out of 3 co-working owners really focus on the co-working activity. Co-workers are mainly freelance and professional, though they are declining a little bit. Companies, on the contrary, are growing. The presence of companies in co-working space is accelerating lately after the pandemic. And then we have some remote workers, digital nomads, few students, very few students, 4%, and almost no civil servants or public company employees. Now, what happened with the pandemic? The pandemic struck really deeply the co-working movement in Italy. The main revenue streams were stopped for a longer period, like 2 years. If you think that events are very important in the economy of co-working, of any co-working owners, you have the picture of what happened 2020, 2021. Now the situation is back, as we measured in last survey, which we run at the basically in December 2021. The profitability got back to the level we registered in 2019. But something has changed. Who own other main activities, those co-working owners try to lower their rent or other expenses by using the co-working, or by opening a co-working in their building, are much more in trouble, are much more vulnerable, less resilient. And so we had lots of this kind of spaces that shut for good. On the contrary, there has been registered a growth in investment in bigger spaces, which perform much better than the small spaces, and in technology. People nowadays expect to book on internet their desk, to go in a co-working space just for a few hours and pay for a couple of hours, no more. Long-term rent is almost rare, so the demand is rapidly changing. And that's where tech is coming into play. There is a need of bigger involvement in technology to manage all these different and dispersed demand for co-working in Italy. These are the results of the 2001 survey. It's more tech-centered or community centered nowadays. I would say the first, but it's open to the floor and open to who wants to analyze the data, which is will be provided open for anybody who wants to have a look.